Patrick, thanks a lot for joining us on Newsnight this evening. Now, issues around crowdfunding they're not new. I mean, crowdfunding may be new in the South African context, but really worldwide, especially when it comes to the US, it's not necessarily a new phenomenon. In fact, in one instance, someone raised about $70,000 just to fund potato salad or something strange like that. So, has it proven to be, though, effective, especially for entrepreneurs in the South African context?
It has been effective for entrepreneurs in a South African context, but it's been even more powerful in the donations crowdfunding space.
And exactly how is it that, especially when it comes to entrepreneurs and being able to even fund, not even entrepreneurs, but those that are in NGOs, etc., that are involved, that are needing assistance of this nature, how is it that it actually becomes more effective for them?
You know, we found South Africans are an incredibly giving nation, and when we're given the opportunity to support people that we believe in, causes that we are passionate about, people come together. And I think it's very much, it's an age-old thing when often a community or a family would support a person to go to university or to start a new business or for a medical condition.
And looking at, the Backbuddy system as well, the platform, how is it that it works and exactly what makes you guys that much more different?
Sure. You know, we work very closely with the people who need to raise funds for whatever their need is. We help them get the kind of exposure they need because people's attention is very short. So often if someone has a need, let's say they have a medical emergency, they might have 1 week in which people will be interested in what they're doing. And so we really help shine a light or shine a focus on those people at the time that they really need it.
And I mean, you speak about 125,800 or so donors, right, worldwide, that have come in and contributed to various causes, whether it's medical, as you've mentioned, or it's issues around schooling. I know I was reading of one of your recipients, one niece was 11 years old, really wasn't able to attend a special school, for example, and donors were able to come to the party in that regard. So, but then is there a vetting process that you make sure that the donors are legit? There's nothing that like knowing that you've got an anticipated 11,000 or even $500,000 in the bank, but it doesn't materialize because the individuals that actually promised the donation decided to renege on their promises.
No, you know, that's where Backbuddy really takes on a strong role in both in terms of protecting donors and protecting beneficiaries. So when someone says they're going to give 1,000 rand towards your medical treatment or to help you go to university or to school, that 1,000 rand comes into the Backbuddy account. We hold those funds. And then this is where we are very different to almost all crowdfunding platforms is Backbuddy often administers the funds. So for example, we will pay the funds directly to the doctor rather than to the person who needs a medical treatment. Or we will pay the funds to the school or to the university rather than to the student who needs to go there. So we take a very proactive role in that way because we recognize that there's always a bit of like, well, are these funds going to be used correctly? And we need to protect our donors. And in the same way, as you say, we also need to protect our beneficiaries so that they know that once people have promised that they're going to back someone, that they actually do.
Yeah, I mean, crowdfunding is gaining momentum in the South African context, but do the public, the greater South African public, are they aware of the existence of crowdfunding platforms and just how far these platforms can go? Because as much as, awareness is becoming another point, but then it's going to be the other issue around it, Patrick, which is the issue around security, because there are chance takers out there who would try to intercept various systems for their own profit and gain.
No, Faith, you're absolutely right there. There are always chance takers. And Backbuddy has a very strict vetting process. And as you said, what we do is we strongly advise that the funds that are raised go directly to the university or to the hospital, wherever the need is. It doesn't mean that we insist on that. But that is the role that we actually take on, is, as I said, to protect funds. And when you say, where is it in South Africa? Backbuddy 2 days ago crossed the 100 million rand raised. Now that's 100 million rand raised for good causes in South Africa. And what I think is most powerful about it is if one person is a big philanthropist and they give 100 million, that's amazing. But this is, as you said, over 120,000 people who've individually given, on average, around 800 Rand to say, yes, I will believe in that person. That person needs my help. I empathize with that person now, and here I will help them. And I think that's, you know, people are incredibly generous if you give them the opportunity to be so. And they also want to see actually where those funds are going as well. So in many ways now, crowdfunding allows you to support exactly those people that you'd like to support. And the change you make is very direct. So you can see if you donate to someone, next year you see they're actually going to the university. Or if you help someone get medical treatment, you will then see through the communication afterwards that they've received it and how well they're doing.
And exactly how does one, you know, find donations or get access to the crowdfunding opportunities on your platform? Many a times people would need to send in videos of themselves, telling themselves who they are and what they're about, and as well as the project, or even exactly what they would need the funding for. Is it a similar process that individuals would go through on your platform to get access to those funds?
Very much so. And you know, we give campaign creators a lot of support in terms of tips and so forth, what they should be doing. It really is important to recognize that crowdfunding is social capital. So we find that people who have been good to those in the past, who have been a strong part of their community, those are the people who receive funding. And it becomes, what I love about it is it's in many ways, it's return to living as part of a village. When if you've lived well, if you've treated people around you well, then when your time of need comes, people will stand behind you and back you. And we see it again and again. It doesn't matter whether you're rich, whether you're poor. It's how you've lived your life that determines whether people will support you or not.
That is quite powerful. It's almost saying that what you put in is exactly what you'll get out of it. These 125,000 donors or more. Do we know exactly what percentage of them actually come from South Africa, that they're actually local donors as opposed to those that are global donors? I mean, and the reason why I'm asking is because we're always speaking about this economic crisis that South Africans are facing on a day-to-day and how we need to be tightening our belt. But to know that there are individuals there that are altruistic, that go even beyond the call of duty and even beyond the call of the pocket, it says something about the type of human spirit we've got as a country.
Very much so. You know, over 70% of all those donations, so that's over 70 million Rand, has been donated by South Africans. And yes, we do have a strong diaspora community. But, you know, it's again, you know, we saw, for example, when that cyclist Mklengi was assaulted in Durban and they damaged his legs. People were donating 50 Rand, small amounts. And I remember, you know, when you see those small amounts coming in, you really recognize that it doesn't matter how wealthy you are or, you know, how much money you have. Generally, when people empathize with something, they will give what little they have. And the beauty of crowdfunding is it doesn't matter how rich you are or how poor you are, you know that you can actually be part of making a difference. You don't just, you don't feel, it empowers you to get out there and be part of something greater than just yourself.
Altruism in its truest form. Patrick, we're going to leave our conversation there for this evening, but thank you so much for joining us and shedding some light in terms of just really what Backbuddy as a platform, what does it do, and how is the crowdfunding can help towards your cause. And this is whether you're an NGO or even if you're looking for an entrepreneurial pursuit and you need capital funding, Backbuddy appears to be the right platform to go to, speaking to its founder, Patrick Schofield, about the actual platform in itself.